quite peaceful animals unless you sort of step on their cubs or something like that. Just don't do that.
Well, they need a snack, afternoon snack, you know.
All right, well, back to, you know, a slightly related topic here in Counter-Strike, where NiP playing the second map against SK, who got pretty badly beaten up, as we've just heard the analyst talking about, for like 20 minutes. And Friberg opens up with a great headshot on Friis. It's looking like a B execute here. cadiaN taking down one. If he gets the second, that'd be huge. He hasn't reloaded yet. He's going to go all in on Forest, and, well, somehow he's still alive. Why is cadiaN living and breathing right now? Forest, what are you even doing? You deserve to die at this point, and, well, he's going to get cadiaN killed. This is incredible. MODDII going for it once, but allu's going to shut him down, and now AcilioN in a 1 versus 2. That was the most ridiculous battle I've seen in the middle for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. But AcilioN actually gets a smoke and a kit off of this, so he has a little bit of time to play with. He has some options here. He's trying to find that one kill to turn it into a 1v1, but it's not going to happen. Allu puts his foot down, says enough is enough. That's the end of the pistol round. It's not getting any easier for you here. This might be your map, SK, but we've still come here to play, and they've got that pistol under their belts, NiP. So a little bit of frustration, you can be sure, here for the Danish roster, just because this is where they were supposed to make their comeback, Anders. They were supposed to be able to battle it out, lock it down, and start off strong here versus the Swedes.
And it might not be going that way just yet, but they have invested into a single deal. I wish they had more, but they do have the jumping scout here and already tagging up allu, which is a really good start. That gangster map2 is going to be hard to find a target with now.
Oof. So scary to run up against cadiaN like that. I mean, pistol in ladder room like that, so close, the damage can be real. You can just die instantly, but they get the job done, and NiP are just going to try and power their way onto this B site. AcilioN nowhere to hide, and Forrest finds a 3rd kill for himself in this round. Just completely steamrolling. This is just brute force, though. Pistol round was kind of the same thing from NiP. It was a lot of just straight-up battles getting taken, and NiP with that confidence, just walking in, getting the job done. MODDII will be able to lie in the cut and pick off Friberg, and now he's got a map2 to play with, so maybe he can make a little bit of additional money here. Taking that long fight with Forrest, decides to go for the 5-7 instead, and now has to worry about getting stabbed in the back. And we'll get right. Not going to mess around.
But this is the style that I think everybody prefers to see from NiP. The confident, aggressive, running all over the place kind of style that they really should be playing. So good on them. It's going to be fun to see if NiP can sustain that style when they run into teams like, well, whoever the ex-TSM team have made an alliance with. You know, them or Fnatic later on. Allu here, well, actually it's a team kill. Forrest so hungry to get the frags. He'll take out his Finnish teammate, and the Friis and AcilioN left, and now it's a 1 versus 1. Xizt hiding in shadow. He's no idea where AcilioN is. Still going to win the fight, barely there. What an ugly round. Yeah, look at that.
Garrett's just like, that was really not pretty. I mean, Friis getting headshot after headshot with the USP up close. You're thinking of that as well. Like, this is a hard eco. That's why NiP are going there so aggressive. I mean, there's going to be just a little bit of frustration there for the Swedes, I think, because that was supposed to be a much cleaner round. Now they're going to have to tap into a lot of that bank. SK Gaming can be definitely pretty happy about that turn of events. Nicely timed team flash there, going to keep allu from peeking, and that would have actually walked right into Friis. So a little bit of turn of luck there for NiP, going their way this time. And wow, Forrest.
So angry. So fast as well, jumping out right into Magic Boy, who is going to be taking him down. And Friberg with a bit of a refrag in the middle on AcilioN. So a little bit of a shame there for SK, as they did have the advantage for about 2 seconds. Great flash through, and cadiaN, he can't even see enough to make it around the corner. Friis with an important kill, turning a quick 180, and maybe could have got the kill, but he got rudely interrupted by an explosive device right to his forehead as well. Painful.
Shrapnel everywhere. Walls get a new coat of paint, and now that leaves MODDII alone. And MODDII hasn't even left the A side. Really, he's just making his way into T-spawn now through pit, and there really isn't too much that he can hope to do versus 3 remaining NiP members who have just taken over that B site. Pretty interesting to see NiP's focus, apart from obviously the 3rd round where they kind of got slaughtered on the A site. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're just like, wait a second, a bit too hot to handle here. Let's just get back to what works, what we focused on so far, go straight onto that B site, make that the focus for this first half. It'll be really curious to see how NiP decide to develop this going into SK's next buy round, because SK are going to be ecoing this next one. There really aren't too many options for them, unfortunately.
No, not really. And you know, NiP saving both the AWPs, it seems. What is this?
Are they?
Why did someone stop with the bomb for no reason?
I don't know.
So many questions.
And so few answers that make sense.
See,
It was so ugly.
I want to point this out. Well, I want to. That's not a polar bear. You see, not all bears are white, Semler.
Okay.
They come in different colors, you know. Just want to point this out.
Minority bear.
5th round is coming up here, and we've got single M4 in place, and it's on MODDII, and I love the fact that they're pushing here. It's very smart. They do get shut down. Oh no, allu, what are you doing? It's friberg going down. He did get killed earlier by a Swede, so maybe he's just trying to exact some revenge here, but maybe a bit much.
Allu, you know, he may be a small fin, but he doesn't care how big you are. You're going to sit down in front of him.
I think that is the mentality, I'm actually quite sure. Magic Boy here hiding by CT spawn. Has really got a headshot on one. Get the second one in. Would have been a good kill. And Friis is going to be alone in a 1 versus 3. But I do want to credit SK for pushing aggressively top mid like that. Because if you're holding defensively with the 1M4, you're essentially saying, let's just hope that they walk into where this rifle is holding. Whereas if you take charge of the round and say, okay, we'll go and find you and hopefully win the fight. They didn't, but I still think the idea is very good. So credit where credit's due, I think.
Absolutely. And I mean, 1 AWP saved. Yeah, they don't have. I don't think they knew that that 2 AWPs were saved, but still pushing up the top mid. That's likely the spot where allu's going to be playing. You know, if you throw enough pistols at an AWP, he has 1 shot. He's not going to kill all of you if you rush. But I think having friberg there kind of threw the wrench in things for NiP. Unfortunately for them, allu will be finding SK, Friis, and only 1 AWP getting saved this time for NiP. But I think that's all they really care about at this point. So long as the Finn has his gun to play with, they'll be fine. Yeah, this is just where. Wow, he had time to. He had time to really just consider that. He just pulled the trigger on friberg.
But look at that smile as well. I've never seen allu smile ever before.
Double op here for SK though. I mean, it's not a bad call. cadiaN can op. I mean, he's not a full-time opper, but it's definitely something like he's kind of like a forest. When he wants to, he can actually go for the AWP and be effective with it.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some good shots out of him in the past. AcilioN having a hard time finding somewhere to look that isn't completely flashed right now. More grenades raining in. AcilioN very low on health here, and Get Right hiding, and actually friberg, someone snuck up behind him. Maybe otherwise that grenade would have done the job. friberg charging through, but his teammates already taking care of MODDII, which is going to leave cadiaN and the rest try and retake this bomb site.
It's not looking too good so far. I mean, at least they catch friberg out. That was a nice shot from cadiaN. We didn't get to see it, but friberg tried to push into CT. cadiaN held the angle, stopped that aggression cold. But it looks like SK, they don't want to have any part of this. They're going to be backing off, trying to hold on to their guns. I mean, they did invest everything they have into this very expensive strategy, the double AWP. 2 times $4,750. You don't get that every time. So, as you guys can see, they have no money left. If, however, they can save these 3 guns, they can get a reasonable buy in the next round. So, SK planning on the long con here.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense at this point. But we have to be, we've got to be real here, Seminole.
Gotta be real? Okay.
Yeah. This is NiP leading with 6-0 on the, well, I don't want to say wrong, but the less favored side. We've got to be careful where we tread here some of the day. I can feel it.
The truth, man. Dropping hard truth here on the stream, Anders. I mean, when terrorists get ahead, ugly things happen.
Yeah, but I don't think SK have any. Well, they've got a double up. That's the closest to like really heavy artillery that we're going to see here from the CT side. But there's not going to be any kind of like carpet bombing or anything else like that going on.
No. I mean, again, towards the B side, the focus here for NiP. Now they know at least that there is a rifle over there. I don't think there was too much of a mystery. cadiaN is going to win versus allu. Not before allu tags cadiaN down to 24. So a little bit of a duel there, but it looks like that was the key here for NiP. The go time. They're going to start heading onto this B site, and it's going to come down to cadiaN now. First line of defense. Hits the shot. Second kill for him. Could get a third, but he's going to miss it. And now it gets ugly, because now Maggie's boy under pressure at the back of the site. He gets overwhelmed by friberg. Dude, cadiaN? Okay then, cadiaN. Just doing work right now at that AWP.
Yeah, great job staying alive as well, and MODDII is going to be taking the last kill there. But yeah, just I think you are right though. As soon as they know cadiaN is there, they think, okay, well, that catwalk area can easily be smoked and flashed off. They probably only have 1 guy in the site. If we all rush in now, we'll kill him, and that'll be all. But cadiaN doing a really good job. First of all, not getting completely zoned out, because he actually pushed all the way into the bomb site.
He pushed through the smoke that went down to block him. So
exactly. So very smart play on his part, and getting 3 kills, not bad at either. Friis in the middle this time.
Just trying to get lucky. Oh my god, doesn't work for him though, but that was so close to getting 2 kills. Just a split second too late both times for Friis. If only he knew. He might just be a little frustrated, a little miffed. Now he's just going to back off thinking, okay, no luck this time. Consolidate the defense on the A side. He spots them moving quickly up cat, and he spotted up connector, rather, and he spotted the bomb as well. So SK, I'm surprised to see such a slow rotation out of them. Just because getting up to connector that quickly with the bomb might mean, you know, a bit of an A play. And there it is. Get right, peeks out, takes out AcilioN.
That's not a good sign here for the A-bomb side. Bomb is being planted in a very favorable position as well right now. Going to be very tough to retake this, especially as they only have one smoke. So if they really want to go for the retake, I feel like now is the time to put that smoke on the bomb and charge everyone in the hope that you can defuse and all the chaos. As soon as they lose MODDII, though, even that plan's probably gone out the window. It's time to just fall back here and save what you have. Magic Boy going to get the kill and try and see if they can fall back. Forest is actually in a great position to stop that from happening, and he sprays and doesn't kill a single one, even though they almost lined up.
Forrest showing mercy?
Maybe.
He does have the Luke avatar, so he's not a Sith, Anders. He's definitely a force for good in the world. But letting him off like this, I don't know. And, well, okay, there we go. In the end, NiP still managed to track down 2.
Yeah.
I wonder, though. I mean, they had 4 players survive in the last round, SK, so there could be an option here for them. If they really want to go all out, yeah, they are going to be able to actually get a very healthy buy, all things considered. The fact that they had 4 players alive, actually, that was a huge difference maker. Had it been any closer in the previous round that SK Gaming won, they would probably be back onto pistols. So a little bit of a lucky break there for the Danes that the economy worked out so well. Good aggressive push coming in from cadiaN, trying to throw a curveball out there. They haven't executed that kind of play yet. But unfortunately for them, nobody's there from NiP to greet them. Instead, it's Forrest, once again, AcilioN getting caught on that A site.
And Friis in the middle, wishing once again desperately that he had X-ray so he could actually see what was going on there. But he doesn't, and he doesn't land a kill either, and instead MODDII's going to go down now. cadiaN lining up a couple of people. Great flash here coming through. Not sure if that was actually a team flash from NiP or a flash from SK. I did not catch that, but either way, it's a 3-on-3 here with Xizt and Forrest both. Oh, especially Xizt dropping very low on health here. So 7-1 scoreline. Friis, no X-ray, but still getting the kill.
Yeah, that's where it gets nasty for NiP. Because at that point, then, they don't know. They've lost control of the situation. The fact that there was an unexpected turn of events with cadiaN holding an underpass like that, they didn't know what to do afterwards. And so it came down to everybody just kind of splitting up, playing an individual-minded game. Get right, getting picked off isn't going to help. And now it's down to Forrest and Xizt, the last 2 alive here for NiP. And well, it seems like cadiaN has an idea. Oh, he had an idea that there was a man on short. He will get it right in the end and get his 3rd kill of the round.
And Xizt just... not really a lot that he could do at this point here, so 1-on-3, 20 seconds left. Try and maybe get the kill or 2 in. Friis can end up winning that fight, and 3 members of SK surviving a very important round here for the Danish side. You know, I always had this idea, Samuel, that maybe... I don't know how many people actually play it, but it could be kind of interesting to have like a practice mode where you play with like very swift rounds, maybe on like just like almost no cooldown. You spawn with weapons every round, and then it's rotated so one person every round starts with X-ray, and then next round is someone else, next round is someone else. You kind of learn how to play a little bit better maybe. cadiaN gonna go down though. Get right, charging in with the Tech 9.
Point-blank headshot, cadiaN taking a big risk there. And it's not going to work out for him in the end. 2 kills going in. Nice return there by AcilioN. He catches allu trying to go aggro. They've taken a lot of damage to this take NiP, so it is definitely possible here for SK Gaming to get in here and get some control. When it comes down to the headshots now, Forrest with that AK. Perfect flash onto him and a free kill for AcilioN to start. And it's going to come down to Friberg, but not for long. AcilioN coming alive. Finally, he has his round to shine. He just keeps getting entry'd on by NiP. Finally showing us what he's capable of if he's left to his own devices.
Yeah, very good retake. That's how that A-bomb site's supposed to work as well. We always try and reiterate this idea that on the A-bomb side of Mirage, which actually makes this bomb site almost unique. It's sometimes easier almost to get in and get the bomb down than it is to actually hold the bomb after the plant. So yeah, good job. 3-7. And now NiP are out of money.
In case you guys are wondering, you're hearing the teams. We have mics going on to the teams there, so in between rounds, you're actually hearing the communication, the comms going in from the teams, discussing, you know, what to do. Xizt, how much money do we have? Okay, don't buy. But Forrest still going to be able to get some good damage done. AcilioN holding on, hesitating for just a moment, and that pays off. He gets 2, and he gets a 3rd as well. Friberg not there to get the refrag. He be dead.
Good job on AcilioN, though. Allu gonna be last here, and he goes down. So 4-7. I mean, if they can make it back here and fight their way into like an 8-7 finish, it's still not exactly great, but it will be obviously much better. Mathematically speaking, too, Sumler.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just like 2 is better than 1. You know?
Yeah, 8 rounds more than 3, which they have now, so or 4. It's actually twice as much.
It's exactly. You know, just like 2 times 1 equals 2.
Yeah, I can't. That's oh, nice shot from Friis. That's it in the middle. cadiaN underpass there, and no backup either. And he ends up going down the forest. And now Friis is going to be really careful. Sticking around here is a very bad idea. Smoke is going to go up, but when they're underpass and top middle, things get a little bit scary. And actually, NiP have sort of fallen back in the meantime. They leave in the middle. Get right to roam about. He gets legged, trying to cross on over, and well, MODDII is in the genius position, isn't he?
That was an excellent adjustment made by NiP. We can get into that later as allu's going to run into his demise. Nice lurk by MODDII paying off. You see everybody freeze on NiP's side. They're not exactly sure what to do. It seems like they still want to go for the execute. At least they know that there's one man up in Palace. But then MODDII decides to play it safe, backs off to the site, just looking to hold. He's still got a teammate not too far away. Friis with that AWP is kind of in a mid spot, just in case they went for a boost in through the mid window into jungle. NiP, Friis would be in position to stop that. But GetRight's going to catch out AcilioN, and that was on short. So SK Gaming, they've really got to try and figure out where the hell NiP are coming from right now because they have very little information to go off of. All they know is that GetRight's still lurking.
Yeah, and that shouldn't actually worry them that much, really. I mean, just before AcilioN died, they had a pretty good lockdown. So if they just held that lockdown, well, then the bomb is, you know, the clock is working against NiP. Now MODDII very close to going down. In fact, he will be dropped. That's GetRight getting a double kill with 15 health. That's a big slip up on SK's side, and something they really can't afford to allow. Magic going to be taking down one. Friis instead in the meantime. Nice shot from Magic Boy. Long range, a little bit burst there on Forest, and now it is going to be a 1 versus 1 here. Xizt hiding all the way back a CT spawn. There is not a single grenade here for Magic Boy, which is a big problem. He has the kit, and he's going to have to hope that Xizt makes a mistake. He walks out, sprays, and Xizt going to hit the dead headshot then. So it's a nice attempt there, but honestly, SK kind of gave away this round. AcilioN, the first to go down, and then a bit more afterwards.
I was just trying to give a quick listen there to NiP, what Xizt was saying after that. It's like, yeah, I can clutch. Yeah, I can clutch. It happens. It happens. But there's the man on your screen who actually really had a big impact in that round. GetRight, the kill on AcilioN, and then the key frag onto MODDII to open up that A site for his team. But I did like the adjustment from NiP at the beginning as well, going down into underpass with 2 players, just in case cadiaN decided to go for the aggro play again, get in their face. NiP were ready for it. If not to just wipe him out, then to at least trade 1 for 1 and still give themselves an advantage. So some good adjustments coming out here from the Swedes, and that puts them up on 8 rounds. But Friis, he's doing his best to battle back here. He takes out friberg, and he's in position to take the fight with allu as well, and he wins it. Flat out. Great start here for the Danish Hopper.
That did not look like he was supposed to be able to see allu, but sometimes Go TV smokes are a little bit different than in-game ones, and obviously Friis just being very on point here. Gun barrel showing, and Forest, he could definitely see that. Oh, what is this? This must be very teasing. Forest finally getting a chance, but then Magic Boy instead re-peeking and taking Forest down. That must be frustrating. Forest, he could see the tip, as it were, Samler. He just couldn't get any.
That was no. It turns out it was too much. It was too much for Commanders.
Xizt and GetRight are going to be left here 2 versus 5. With 35 seconds left, they got to see if they could find a way to do some damage here to the SK lineup. And obviously, Xizt is not going to be the man for the job. Instead, GetRight, 25 seconds here. If you could get some damage in, you know, get a bunch of kills here. I mean, it has to be like 3 kills to really matter, and with that kind of spray, I'm just not sure.
GetRight. He was talking mad smack because he was in the office yesterday when I was streaming, and he was just talking mad smack. He's like, yeah, this is my time. I get to rip on you now for once. He was like, oh, look at that spray. What a noob and all that. You know, I'm just like, God damn it, GetRight, shut up.
You know what? It's so weird, but I can't actually imagine GetRight really trash-talking anyone.
Right? I know when it happens, it's just like this surreal experience. And then, of course, you know, as it often goes in life, I get this super sick clutch round. I've been sucking up into that point, and GetRight's just like, and then I'm like, get this super sick clutch, and I'm like, yeah, GetRight, you see that? And he'd already left. And I was like, God damn it!
Nice. Timing perfect.
Yeah, you know, it always works out that way, right? It always works out that way. But that was a great spray, GetRight. Don't worry. You're on point.
You get a little bit of revenge here. cadiaN missing a flick, and now they're getting very close. He's going to get the one shot in. I mean, kind of the best he could have done at that point here. Friis in the back lines, getting the one kill, going for a second. Great angle to be holding, and now all he has to just buy time. Backup is coming. Doesn't have to face just yet. I mean, ideally, he'd buy some time with maybe a couple of grenades here as well. And now, well, the rest of his team has shown up. It's friberg and Get Right left, and in this 14th round, they seem kind of stuck at the back here.
Yeah, they have to wait for somebody to get impatient on SK's side. But Friis, excellent play. He's actually going to be forced out into the open, though. Decides to challenge. MODDII will play off that information, however. He takes out Get Right. Now it's going to come down to friberg with an AWP. SK Gaming getting ready. They're getting primed to peek together.
Don't double peek.
As soon as they hear something, yep, there it is. There's the peek. And now they're going to push together, and it's 2 rifles. That was, I mean, versus an AWP at least, that's near perfect play. As long as they don't line up.
Yeah, I thought for a second they would try and do that.
Yeah, right, where they, with the X-ray, it looks like it. It looks like it, and you're like, please, no.
The second angle from Friis is actually pretty cool. That's not necessarily an easy shot to be hitting, so yeah, I really like that. Like Xizt sort of looking like he's just woken up as well. Well, 8 rounds is still very good on the terrorist side of Mirage. If it finishes 8-7 though, it's still kind of an open game. It's not ended for SK by any means, and this round NiP really don't have a lot, so it's a good chance we could be finishing 8-7 here.
Yeah, unless they just decide to go for the straight YOLO rush, and it does look like it's going to be the B split here with Tech9s. They want that close quarters fight up in B apartments, and they're not going to get it. Megasboy is going to fall back out into the open, and Forrest is there to greet him with the CZ75. Friis gets caught as well. No, SK, it just can't happen. You cannot lose versus a pistol force buy in the 15th round. Do not let NiP get up to 9-6.
Right, so they lost that 4 vs 3 earlier, where they ended up peeking Get Right and he gets a double kill. This is another one of those rounds that these are the rounds that really end up deciding a map ultimately, because you should be winning them and it should be giving you the advantage. This is close to being the difference between a 9-6 finish in favor of NiP or what could have been a 9-6 finish in favor of SK, which obviously would have been much better. So yeah, a bit of a mess up there. Or
That's
maybe,
pain.
Yeah.
That's definitely very painful here for SK Gaming. Unfortunately for them, they aren't going to manage.
Yeah, I kind of wish we could get a full replay of that round, because obviously cadiaN wasn't playing close on Catwalk, so he doesn't know, and as a result, MagicBoy doesn't know. But someone else must have been holding mid, or maybe they weren't. I kind of wish I could go back and see, because Friis usually in the window, and if Friis isn't there, then someone should be playing connector. But if no one was on either of those positions, then SK kind of gave up the middle, which allowed NiP to do kind of what they did. Or maybe NiP throws some really great smokes in there. Maybe we'll find out at some point. Either way, well executed round from NiP. That's going to put us into the second half in just a minute or two here. Yeah, NiP looking well on their way.
Yeah, this is, I mean, this is kind of the expected result, even if SK Gaming have been improving online recently. They've been showing good results. MagicBoy, MagicBoy. MagicBoy, he's been doing good work. I mean, showing that he's really capable online. On LAN, however, it's not like he's like totally missing out. All right, let's go ahead and just listen to what the communication here is. I'm assuming we're listening to NiP right now. Yes, I hear Xizt.
What we're witnessing here, by the way, is that's not Adderall, by the way. Those are gummy bears that MODDII was taking. He took a whole handful. Just want to warn everyone before we get any kind of panic on Reddit.
Is that what a bear looks like, Anders? Gummies.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. There's more than one bear similar. Gummy bears and brown bears.
And polar bears.
And polar bears. They're represented too, but all the focus is always on them, and there's almost like a structural advantage to being a polar bear. It's you've got to watch that. 16th round is coming up though, and at this point in time, gotta say SK have to win this pistol. I think if they don't, then NiP steamroll this map as well. Not quite as convincingly, but still pretty well. So second half, second map here, and a running headshot on the CsGo drops him down to 2. allu trying for a bit of a jumping shot from the window, but thinks better of it and falls back a little bit here. Xizt going to win that fight against the CsGo finally, and now SK are in a really weird spot.
Man, they just keep falling apart. friberg from short will find MODDII and connector. Now Get Right gets spotted, he gets dinked down immediately, so he decides to play it a little bit more carefully, back off towards that CT spawn. Instead it's allu peeking on stairs, and they're sticking this bomb plant. Allu might be able to just run right up, and allu with the double kill. They just let their guard down for a second, SK Gaming. Magic Boy was too far away to have an impact. It was down to the 2 players alive on that A site, and they just let allu, the Finn, wreck them. So if this is actually a back-to-back perfect rounds here for NiP in key rounds of this map, I think that's pretty much going to decide it, how things are going to go here for the Danes in the second half. If you let this man right there get fired up, once he gets that AWP, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a bit of an issue there on the Danish side, and because they lost control of top mid as well to Xizt, that makes this whole push so weird. Like, so many things don't work. They had a guy from SK coming out of underpass. That only works if somebody from your team is also pushing top mid. If Xizt is there instead, it just kind of all falls apart here. cadiaN taking out Magic's boy, and at this point, everything is just weird here.
How many team kills have we seen on this map, Anders?
Well, like, we had a couple on the first
4 of them or something so far. Just what's going on? Is there infighting that we're not aware of? Somebody talks smack about somebody's sister. I don't know. At this point, it's not pretty.
Definitely some weird stuff here on this first game in the Fragbite Masters tournament. It ends up in favor of NiP. No big surprise there. We'll see how far they can push it on the SK side. Not exactly looking super fired up, are they?
Well, definitely a little deflated. I mean, it would be a lie to say that we expected SK Gaming to come in here and just crush NiP.
I think
but
no.
To get dumpstered on your own map, that's not a pleasant feeling. You know, Cash you can write off and say, well, it's their map, we expected it, it's not ours. You know, we're not really solid on it, right? It's kind of an expected result, but
I hope we can get the camera back on MODDII at some point, because I think I recognize that look as well that he had. That was Forrest there, at the end with a double kill for the UMP. You know, I think MODDII had that look that you get when you've had like too many gummy bears. You know that feeling. You're like, I had too many. I crossed the line. You know, that happens though. That definitely happens.
It has nothing to do with getting shut down hard in the first half. that green, that slightly green, you know, sick.
You questioning my Counter-Strike analysis? I can't believe this is very, very bad mannered indeed. Forrest, he's going to miss that fight, actually. He was a little bit worried then, and he should have probably had backup. That was a nuts idea from Forrest. It's great to be pushing top mid like that, but somebody else should be with you, especially when you have an AWP. So maybe a sign that NiP are also starting to sort of, you know, feel that this win might be very close indeed. Nice position from Xizt, though. That's a bit tricky.
Right on the edge. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm a super behind like Get Right's decision to go for the UMP still.
It does have complexity stickers on, so that's some old school stuff.
That is some old school stuff. Is he trying to channel his old school Sean Gares? Is this in memory of the old school Sean Gares? When NA were a threat.
When NA were a threat. Wow. Just savage Semler.
Yeah, you hear that? The cops are coming to pick me up after that.
Or is it the NA scene that they're after?
No, that's the ambulance. You know,
actually, at this point, might as well just call the coroner and just get it done with. No need for an ambulance. It's going to be friberg taking down cadiaN and allu in a pretty good position here. They might be able to bring it back. Oh, friberg going to pick up a kill there. Going to bring it back into a 2-on-2. And oh, what? They're just letting friberg wreck them. He's going to go for the quad kill. He'll get it as well, spraying down AcilioN halfway through the wall. And that's the NiP bringing it back from a 2-on-4 into a 1 round. Just to cement the fact that they're not going to let SK have any fun in this best.
Yeah, no fun allowed on this server. I mean, friberg in particular here. cadiaN definitely not expecting that close position, but then running in one after another. This is how you lose a round when you have a man advantage, is allowing the man to have duels, to just set it up, to take fights at his own pace. And, well, wow, yeah, Xizt.
The ultimate fun killer in with the Scar 20 as well. Fantastic.
I mean, Xizt knows that he's just going to get a whole bunch of messages now. We're just like, auto noob, no skill, blah, blah, right?
You have to feed off that stuff, though. You have to be like, yes,
fuel me. Your tears.
cadiaN trying not to shed any tears in the corner for his dead teammates. In fact, he's gonna gift Xizt the triple here. He's ready for it. The auto, and there it is, the headshot.
Didn't even at least he was quick. Wasn't 2 shots.
It's preferable, I think, you know. You know you're going to go out anyway. Auto-sniper, not the worst way. Well, means we're now up to 14 rounds on the NiP side here. It almost looked like that was a triple initially, but Get Right actually stole one of them. In the 21st round, we've got an AWP and Friis and a lot of Molotovs here.
And the big A execute. A little bit surprised to see NiP with 3 guys over on B side, but that's after being super aggressive. They're going to have all the info they need now. Allu pushing up into B apartments, spots nobody. There we go. All the info. They should actually start rotating immediately. NiP. They shouldn't hesitate 1 second. Yep, and there it is. Finally, the rotation being made. Friberg heading over towards the B site. We'll have the follow-up as well from Forest. And then we have the backstab that's going to come in from Allu. If SK Gaming don't go soon, this is going to completely wreck them.
Oh, here the timing is so good for NiP as well. Look how close Allu is. By the time they push in, this will be very, very difficult to deal with. Clocking past the minute markets, Friberg even opening up with a kill on the CsGo. Get Right gonna go for the spray here, and Allu just casually walking in, no care. He didn't get the 1 kill, but you could see he was so relaxed as well. NiP reading the situation so well. A nice illustration that we don't always see of how much you can win around just by getting the information.
Exactly, showing no fear. And that's, I mean, cadiaN is going to know, like, no, not a lot being said, just because when NiP have such a huge lead, they're going to go for the, they can afford to go for the ultra aggression, they can afford to take risks. And so it's just going to make life even more difficult here for the Danes.
Is that duct tape that's, you know, next to Forest? He's
Old
already,
school, man. OG.
You know, ready to wrap them up and put them in the trunk here. Just done. Get out. Forest is going to be going down though, and that was CsGo with a headshot here. Magic Boy going to be dying next, and now it's 4 versus 3 here, and what is looking like a potential 16-6 victory in favor of NiP, having pretty much crushed SK on the first map. They're looking to the second on the same as well, so not turning out to being quite a close match as maybe a lot of us has thought here. Xizt and Friberg in the middle, leaving MODDII alone in a 1-on-3, and he's going to get the first good headshot in there and looking for a bomb plant.
And Get Right's got the Zeus. But he's not going to use it. He isn't quite close enough yet. Instead, that's actually going to be Xizt just going pretty YOLO here. He's giving a MODDII way back into this site, but MODDII instead is getting ready for Kitchen. He's actually missed the timing for Get Right. He knows somebody's close, and Get Right just assassinates him. Dominant. Yeah, MODDII hit so hard, he's ejected straight off the server.
Can't even deal with it any longer. Right, so